So, I don't know what battle report this one is, but we're up to the next one. So it's a bank holiday, so me and Mark decided to come in for a bit of a game. So I'm Matt, and I'm playing Protectorate.
I'm Mark, I'm playing Legion.
And so let's start the video.
So I'm setting up first, and I'm playing Lylyth 3, the Reckoning of Everblight, with a Succubus, Typhon, a Naraf, a Seraph, a Nephilim Boltthrower, and a Naga Night Lurker. One Shepherd, one Deathstalker, one Forsaken, Strider Scouts with UA, and the Black Frost Shard.
Yeah. So that's Mark's setup. So this is like an exemplar list-ish. So it's Kreoss 2, Scourge of Heresy, a Templar, got a min unit choir, two units of Knights Exemplar, both, and then two Knights Exemplar Seneschals, min unit choir, the Mechanic, a Wrack, a Kicky Monk, a full unit of Errants, and a unit of Daughters, and Nicia, Tear of Vengeance, which is basically lots of Weapon Masters for the feat turn. So we're just up to AD. So I went for the big block on the basis that all the Exemplar can move through each other while within Kreoss's command, so I thought that'd be useful. Turns out I don't think it turned up once, did it?
No, not once, to be fair. My list, I'm playing out of theme with Lylyth for the first time in a while, just because I wasn't getting the results that I wanted out of any of the theme lists, and I wasn't playing the models that I wanted. So I decided that maybe Lylyth just doesn't need any of the themes.
That's it.
I'm far more comfortable with a list like this. I've played it before the themes were released, and it works for me, so that's what I've gone with.
That's it, and Typhon is a solid model to...
Yeah,
it's compensation for not the bonuses.
Yeah, definitely. You always want Typhon with Lylyth 3 if you can.
Probably missed out before. I won the dice roll, which is probably the first time I've done it in an awful long time. And I opted to go second because I was thinking that the house and the wall might get in the way because of obviously Lylyth's on a huge base. But so this was off we go.
So I started by running the Striders away from the Daughters because with their defense and stealth, they weren't going to do very much other than get killed. And then I just started almost activated Lylyth there, and then realised that I couldn't actually get where I needed to go because I'd put Typhon in the way pretty classically. So
there's Typhon moving out the way.
And he's all good.
So, and this was me massively underestimating Lylyth's threat range because it is just monstrous.
It is monstrous. So moves forward, puts up Battle Host and Snipe, and just
like wailing on the Errants.
Yeah, just starts shooting out the Errants. With the amount of shooting in his list, and with the Errants having magical shots, I didn't need Windwall, so I didn't have to worry about him self-sacking and me not being able to prop Windwall off a kill. So just start killing kill 3 of them.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, kill 3 of them, and then...
Yeah, I tried to keep everyone in the front alive by sacking the guys on the back, but I don't think I really gained anything from it. Unfortunately.
Not really, and then everything else pretty much just moves forward and made sure that I balanced my Fury. And the Black Frost Shard ran. And that was me.
That was the turnover. So yeah, you've got a lot of my reliance was on that Kicky Monk at the top to just stand on the edge of the zone at defense 18 and just get in the way. So the last game I played, I forgot he had AD, which meant he didn't really have much influence on the game. But this one, he was straight in the zone and just chilling, really, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
And then I had some interesting sort of activation issues because I put the Piper in the second line. So he had to sort of wiggle around, and he basically didn't get out of his deployment zone, which was fun. And then I put Dirge of Mists onto the Errants, which, as we realised, was a pretty rubbish thing to do because the what are they called? Deathstalkers?
The Striders. The UA gives them Hunter, so they ignore concealment and cover, which, interestingly, I think it was at the end of my turn when I remembered that.
Yeah. But I think, well, yeah, without giving too many spoilers, we'll come back to that, I suppose, in a second. But yeah, so the daughters ran up to just get in the way and try and get in a position where they might be able to charge the next turn. And then all the knights just trundle up behind them. This is the second time I've used this list. The first time was against trolls, and it wasn't too much of a problem having like threat ranges of 8.5, 9 inches, that kind of thing. So it's just a slow trudge. Oh, and this was my building my little fortress for Kreoss to stand behind, because the amount of times I've lost games to Lylyth because she's just stationary and stuff. So yeah. But the problem with this was that Kreoss couldn't get to the Errants to cast the spell he needed to. But thinking about it, because he's got Tactician Exemplar, he might have been able to do it.
Yes, he might well have been able to.
If I'd remembered it. So, having said it didn't come up.
Yeah, it could have come up, yeah.
Yeah. Could have come up first turn of the game, but never mind. So yeah, so I think Kreoss threw up Castigate, he threw up Inviolable Resolve on himself for the +2 armour, and he put Sacrosanct on the middle unit of Knights Exemplar on the basis that hopefully anyone that shot them might get knocked down and might be an easy target for daughters. And that was the turn.
So I leached in my Fury, which I'd magically made balance in the first turn, and just started working out with the Striders who could aim and who couldn't, who was going to have to move to start killing some Errants.
And you've obviously got Pathfinder, so that makes your life a lot easier. And reposition 3, because...
Yeah, Pathfinder and reposition 3, so I was into the forest with the ones that needed to be ready to back right out the forest when required. The musician, as part of the UA, helps the units spread out quite a lot as well, because if he's in command, then you can measure your command from him as well, which is very good.
Lets them spread out loads. So yeah, and this is just them blowing the living daylights out of the Errants. I think Tough might have helped. It certainly wouldn't have hurt, but it would have been better than Dirge. But I'll know that for next time, so it's all good.
They are repositioning back.
Yeah, so this was you trying to...
Yeah, I was working out if the Wrath was in range to charge the monk that turn. I think he was half an inch out if I didn't slipstream, and I had other plans for where I wanted the Seraph to be, so that wasn't going to happen. That's the Deathstalker aimed and tried to shoot the
shooting daughters ones.
Yeah. So he missed the second one, which left me without the
he was in the way then, wasn't he?
Yeah, anywhere for Typhon to walk through.
Which obviously I was really gutted about for you.
Yeah. That's because I always seem to find that if I need 8s with them, I'll hit them. If I need 4s, I'll miss. So Typhon walks up as far as he can and starts spraying daughters. I think the first spray I decided not to boost any of them and see what happens, and I killed the third one.
Yeah, it was that magical line of I'll just roll hard 9s and then proceeded to kill. Was it 1 or 2 of them?
Just one of them.
Just
then
one.
I boosted. I missed a boost on. Missed
a boost on the second spray and I think hit on the third.
Yeah, so managed to kill 3 of them. And then Lylyth decided to work out what she could kill. Which on any turn you kind of have to assume is just going to be 3 models, and you want it to be 3 models. So yeah, the Seraph. I think every time this game that I roll with Seraph, D3 shots, I got 3, which was nice.
Hey. There's a little understatement. But yeah.
I mean, the list's all about the number of attacks that you've got at the end of the day. So it's good to have plenty of them.
That's it, and I've not played this list for a while. Or played into this list, and I've forgotten how much shooting it actually does, because you look at it and it's not that many models, is it?
No, not really, but it's the quantity of attacks it can actually put out is always pretty good.
And the quality, which probably sounds a bit cheesy, but they're not just, Rat 5 attacks, are they? They're all like quite high, and they're all...
Yeah, and if they're not high rat, then the boostable, or the Deathstalker, just the fact that it can just say, I don't care how high your armour is, and I don't care if you've got tough. Mind you, everyone hates Deathstalkers, I don't need to talk about that. I think I reached the point where everything that could shoot had shot, and I was eating my clock. This is where I was trying to work out if I could shoot the Blackfrost Shard's magic, if I could shoot a few of these and stay out of threat range, and I think I missed one, and then the last one.
Yeah, the last one killed the one guy in.
Yeah, just kills the one that was the warrior, and that was it. So I felt relatively safe contesting both zones.
Yeah, so when I got to this point, I was quite happy, because I thought, well, Nicia can go. She can hopefully, okay, she's hitting on 7, so it's 50-50, but she might just be able to take that one model in the shard out. So she went first. Because this is the point where you're kicking yourself, because the guy that didn't shot had stealth, didn't he?
Yeah,
and could have completely taken this off.
The one that was out of range to shoot anyone could have just put stealth up on them, and I was mostly just concerned about the attacks. Didn't do anything with him, but Nicia just missed. So.
Yeah, and then stood out like a sore thumb. And then, I had the choice between either trying to shoot one of those Striders,
yeah.
Or run into them. So I ran in, because I thought at least that's going to stop. Going to mean you have to deal with him. And then the Allegiant stood in his stance at the top of the board, as far away from anything as he could be, just generally being obnoxious.
Yes, he did.
And then, having learned from my previous mistake, I put Heroic Call for tough onto the this unit of Exemplar that are moving. Although, that one moved back because he's from the other unit, so... it looks really organised, this, doesn't it? Yeah, and I was sort of regretting putting the Exemplar Seneschal into that woods, because without Pathfinder he was just getting nowhere, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Just stood there.
Yeah. So I knew Typhon had an awful lot of sprays, so I was just trying to spread out as much as I could. I could probably have done it better if I'd thought more about it, but yeah. And this was another move that was probably a bit daft, was putting that Seneschal well out of the game, so he only had the shards of threat there, really, didn't he? But and again, the fort moved up with Kreoss stood behind it. Oh yeah. And this was Kreoss. Kreoss took a point of focus off the Wrack, because I thought it was in danger of being assassinated. The Wrack then blew up and kills the Exemplar Seneschal, which was great. But because of the way it all works with him, he didn't die. He gets knocked down, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then so we went through the cards on this one, but he can't actually be physically removed until until my next maintenance phase. So he sort of had 2 turns of lying down, and as long as someone died within 9 inches of him, which there was a good chance of it happening, he got back up again.
Yeah, there was a very good chance of that happening.
Well, yeah, there's no way you were going to leave all those Exemplar that close to you and alive, was there?
No, so is this the point where I went the toilet?
Possibly.
This is the point where I went the toilet, yeah.
So this was the bit we had like a couple of seconds. So we're running a genuine league that starts at Wargames in Southport on the 23rd of May. So if you're interested, drop us a message or something. And yeah, we'll hopefully get some more players down, because our meta's got quite a few people in it, really, hasn't it? We're up to about 10, 12 players, maybe.
Yeah, with some of them are newer players, so that's why we're thinking about running the Journeyman League.
Yeah.
So I've just got my Fury back up, all sorted, and I'm working out which unit of exemplars is which.
Yeah, and what they're doing. So, middle unit, just for clarification, has got Sacrosanct on it. The bottom unit's got Invariable Resolve, so they're armor 17. Obviously, both those units go up to +2 armor, +2 strength if you kill one. And there's tough on the middle ones as well. So
yeah, so the Blackfrost Shard move up to punch, kill the one guy close to them, and he battle wizards and doesn't kill. And then the one with Kiss puts Kiss on the unit in the middle, and then the last one does a magic attack. And I want to say I needed 8, didn't I, with Invariable Resolve
17, yeah.
and I didn't hurt him at all. And it just kind of left the Blackfrost Shard there to get minced.
But then, good old Deathstalker.
Deathstalker doesn't care about how high your armor is.
Point, done.
So it took me quite a while to work out what I was going to do with all this, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, because it was all about orders, wasn't it? It was killing stuff in the right order so that you could...
Yeah, then... I mean, when you come up with something against someone like Kreoss 2, with this type of list where the threat range is a lot shorter than mine, you've just got to be like, what's closest, kill it, and make sure that I'm not going to get retaliated on too badly. And luckily, a gun line's going to do a lot better job of that. So the Striders have moved up so that I can hopefully start doing a bit of killing. And yeah, I did the 2 melee attacks then on the remaining Errant, and that survived. And then I started killing these exemplars in the centre and getting knocked down for my troubles.
Yeah, it was a good trade-off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You shot them, they got knocked down. You shot them, got knocked down. And especially like that one where he toughed, so that really takes the mickey, doesn't it? You're knocked down. I'm
not down, you're not down. And if it wasn't for Kiss, I don't think I would actually have done half as many kills as I did with the Striders. It's the Power 10, they used to have combined range in Mark 2, they don't anymore, so now I've got Power 10s, and I'll do what I can. And I gave one on the off chance of a double 6 of actually
shooting the Legion.
Shooting the monk, and obviously I think I rolled a 3 when I wanted a double 6, so that didn't work for me.
That's it, he got his move around, which I was considering going into melee with that one in the middle, which may or may not have been better. I don't know.
Maybe it would.
Yeah, just put him on armor 22, defense 22, which.
So the Seraph again has rolled 3 shots and starts killing these exemplars.
Yeah, there was a point in this, and I don't know where it got to, but you'd shot an awful lot of stuff, and I thought, oh, I've got two exemplars that can charge in, this might be alright. But then I've forgotten about Lylyth, and you can never forget about Lylyth.
No, so I've killed that remaining Errant with the Seraph, which is brilliant. The Naga walks up. Did he just miss? Yeah, he just straight missed, didn't he? Yeah, I was just like, I'll just roll this, and he missed. Definitely feel, not playing in theme, you do feel that the missing points. Like, I've only got one Forsaken in the list, so I have to be very wary of how much Fury I leave out on the table.
So that's probably worth actually sort of mentioning, like, what was it? There was Typhon we said you lost, the Black Forest Shard, what else did...
Well, I've been playing it in Oracles, so you get the Black Forest Shard in Oracles, but you don't get any units that have ranged attacks. So you're relying on beasts for every, like for your feat turn for every stationary, which just isn't very, like, cost effective, really. Whereas now, like, if I was playing against a jack heavier list, the Striders could do all of that for me, and then you've paid 13 points to station me however many jacks you need to, really, because generally you're going to hit. So Lylyth has just killed the monk and repositioned into the zone, which I control now, which is nice. And then I'm working out where Typhon will have to get to, walk to get back into control, so I can start finishing off this unit of Exemplars. And that was that. You didn't get that last tough, did you? No. So that was good. A lot of tokens cleared off the board.
Is it much neater?
Yeah, much neater. And then I was just working out if I could kill that knockdown Seneschal with the bolt thrower, but I couldn't.
And yeah. So yeah, the Seneschal is now still knocked down, but he's on 1 point of health, which is kind of alright. At least I didn't lose him, I suppose. And this was working out whether the Deathstalker was in charge range. I think he was just out. Was he charge range or no? Kind of in charge range because he couldn't see, or maybe I was just being optimistic. That happens a lot. And then yeah, this was me measuring the absurd threat range that Typhon has, with all the various bits and pieces to boost him.
With Battle Host and the possible slipstream, he can charge 13 inches, and then he's got an inch reach, or he can spray 8 inches past that, which is it's the best way to assassinate at the end of the day. It's just...
That's it. So this was what were we were.
So you've just moved. The Pipers just had to run into the zone because it was the only model that was going to be able to contest.
That's it. Because it was 2. Was it 2-2 at this point?
2-0 to me at this point because I've still got the Blackflash Shard contesting.
So yeah, again, scared of the assassination. Inviolable Resolve was kept on Kreoss, and lacking options and not having killed anything yet, I decided to feat this turn. So in charge the Seneschal, and well, funnily enough, made mincemeat of the 2 members of the Shard that you could see.
Yes, that was when you rolled the dice. It was like, yes, it's not worth the point of counting the pips on the other 3 dice because that one has done it.
Yeah, and then Nicia went in, and then quick work to shot across, and then it was like, oh, stealth. So ended up, I think one charged the Deathstalker, killed it, and the other one just had to run into Typhus. Sort of potentially, I think I'd been better off using the Seneschal and charge in the middle of this Shard, and then I could kill all 3, and then use Nicia to get something better, but I didn't do it. So yeah, the Templars now out as bait, on the hope that Typhon or someone will come in, and then Scourge Heresy can just smash him.
So
that was my thought.
So is that the end of your turn? Yeah. So
yeah,
that's 2-all. So my big thing is what could actually get across to contest my zone. So that was what I had to kill. So I start with the Narath actually passed its frenzy test and
8 Rhupert.
8 Rhupert, yeah. It did take both of his initials, to be fair. And then he sprinted to block the lane. Now, with that Seneschal, one thing I do know is you have to kill him last. So I looked at my attacks in the order to kill all the other infantry in the way, which Typhon did, and then started. Which jack's that?
That's the Templar, so he's to do the shield beat back.
Yeah, so I started punching him, and dice -4 was obvious I wasn't going to do much, so I didn't bother with spending any fury on it. I was hoping for maybe getting a crit pitch, but I wasn't going to load Typhon up just to try that. Because just blocking him seemed to be enough. The Forsaken...
It's the bolt thrower.
Oh yeah, the bolt thrower just tries to...
crit knockdown.
Tries to crit knockdown him and doesn't...
Well, he hit, didn't he? But he didn't.
Yeah, he hit, but he didn't crit. So, and then the Forsaken boosted to hit on that. That was the last Exemplar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And killed him. That's the Striders walking up and kill a few choir. It's fair to say. Matt did have to remind me about the Striders that weren't in range to do anything. I was just leaving them where they were.
Right.
And then did I manage to?
Yeah, I'm pretty certain he went down.
Yeah, he went down there. Yeah.
And then with no one close, there was no point leaving him on the table.
So the Seraph just moved forward to block the way to my zone. Lylyth dropped Fury, and that's the point where I'd completely forgot to contest. So we both scored 2 again, and it went to 4-4.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm thinking I can't get to the zone, and I almost handed across the baton and said to Mark, "Yeah, well done." At which point we realised that actually there's a massively tiny chance that I could kill everything, and potentially Mark couldn't contest the zone. So, seeing as I had half an hour left on my clock, I thought, well, why not give it a go? And then what followed was probably, well, I was going to say the worst turn of dice rolling I've had, but I've had some awful turns of dice rolling. So, yeah. So, powered up both jacks. Who went where? Because this is where the previous turn in Nicia had... There's loads of stuff good with Nicia, because actually thinking about it, Nicia could have sprinted once she killed the person. Yeah. So she could have sprinted. She's obviously got parry, she's got acrobatics, so she could then have gone through and contested the zone, which potentially could have won me the game.
Potentially, yeah.
That's not in any way, shape or form infuriating.
At the same time, last turn, Lylyth didn't actually activate weapons just to drop some fury, so don't feel too bad. Yeah,
it was still another long shot, wasn't it? So yeah, so this was the jack went up, smashed the Forsaken, I think.
The
Forsaken died to the Seneschal.
Yeah.
So this was a cracking turn of dice rolling. I think between Scourge of Heresy and the Templar, they have, is it 10 attacks? 2 basic, 3 boards. Yeah. So they have 10 attacks between them. I think I landed 2 of them.
I think you must have landed about at least 3. Cause
maybe 3.
We looked at the end of the game and Typhon was about 2/3 dead.
Yeah.
To be fair.
This is the traditional Protectorate Jack thing, isn't it? You've got, if they hit hard, but...
Yeah, it's making them hit's the problem.
Yeah. So yeah, and that was the win.
Yeah. I explained this, the Seraph just had to attrition out of melee and then fly around the side and...
Job done.
All I had to do was contest and won, 8-6?
8-6, yeah.
8-6 in the end. Yeah, and that was about that. To be fair, it's a different game for me and Matt, because for quite a while now it's been Fianna 2 against Ammon, which is a lot more jacks. What is it, 9-10 jacks?
It's 10 jacks versus how many beasts?
7 beasts. So it's I've got my feet and you've got, what's it called? Synergy, so it's quite a more interesting game. Can I push through before I'm all dead? But,
yeah. So that was the game. Probably by the time, I think, hopefully within a month, the Exemplar theme will be out, so I'm praying that will make this list a lot better, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so like we said before, there's the Journeyman. If anyone wants to join us, you're more than welcome to in Southport, 23rd of May. Otherwise, I'm sure there'll be more games coming up sometime soon. So
yeah, and if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and share.
Oh yes, and do all that kind of face.
What people always say on the videos.
What people do on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.